Good morning. I'm super excited to share about today's gospel because Jesus says some really fascinating and important stuff, but he says it in, I would say, what we would call hyperbole, right? There's a big word. Say it after me. Hyperbole. And what it means is saying something that just seems to be just kind of like really extreme and almost exaggerated, right? I say this because Jesus ends up saying, right, if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off, right? Like, wait a second, Jesus, do you actually want me to cut off my hand? That's kind of weird, right? What Jesus is saying is he's getting to the fact that our actions have consequences, right? And so he's saying that, like, it's so important that we avoid sin, to the point that if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off, right? Get rid of it. Don't let that affect you, because it's better to enter into heaven with one hand than to not make it there, right? Heaven is so important. It's a place where Jesus wants to share his love and wants to make sure that everything is perfect for us, where there will be no more sin, no suffering, no death. It's amazing, right? And he's saying we need to take care of this, that we need to make sure we're living our life the right way, because Jesus wants us to get to heaven with him because he loves us, right? Hang on to this idea. Jesus wants us to get to heaven with him, and he knows that actions have consequences, so he wants to help us get there, right? When I was a kid, I used to find fire fascinating, and so I would want to touch the stove, right? But we all know what happens. Or what if you touch it? We get hurt, which is why God tells us don't do it. Like, God, not just that, but God tells us certain things not to do. He gives us commands. He gives us rules and laws and things to do to help us. Sometimes when our parents tell us, oh, don't do that, you'll get hurt, we're like, but I want to. Why are you taking my fun away? No, it's for protection. It's for protection because of love. And actions have consequences. If I reach out and I touch the stove, it's going to hurt, right? Now, I said, why is it that Jesus is going on and on and on about this? It's because he wants us to get with him in heaven. And he knows that actions have consequences. So do you know what he did? He loves you so much that he did the action of dying on the cross, because he knew that that action would have the consequence of saving us, making it possible for us to get to heaven. And that's all he wants. That's all he wants. So he's telling us today that we need to be so serious about it, right? That, gosh, if our hand is causing us to sin, cut it off. Don't risk anything. Like, do a drastic thing. Do something extreme if that's going to help you to get to heaven. Because in heaven, that's the goal. It's the perfect place that we could ever be, right? Jesus did something extreme. He died on the cross for us, for you, because he loves you. Why did he do it? Because he loves you. He loves you so much. So maybe it's really hard to stop sinning. Maybe it's really hard to not push our brother or sister when they're being annoying. Jesus died on the cross. He did something hard. Today, out of love for him, let us be willing to do what's hard. Let us be willing to do what's extreme. Don't cut your hand off, right? But be willing to do things that are extreme for the Lord, because he loves you and he loves you extremely. God bless you.